SCAD, students have the opportunity to design their own creative careers.
There's no better place to come if you want to incorporate horses with your education. I can come out to the barn and ride every day.
The better rider I am, the more I'm going to know my subject, and it's a huge part of what fuels my passion when I'm painting them.
It's really nice to be able to see those students continuing on with what they're passionate about and being so successful.
In a world where power shifts rapidly, strategy shapes the future. Strict global diplomacy, led by Robert Strick, steps in when crises erupt, markets shift, and negotiations stall. With expertise in high-stakes mediation and global diplomacy, we give global leaders the decisive edge. In uncertain times, the world's most influential turn to us. With precision access and unwavering strategy, we solve conflicts, strengthen businesses, and secure the future. Strict global diplomacy, moving the world forward.
Today's world is not the world our children will inherit, for it is changing faster than ever before. We help students prepare for a future that is indefinable. Because we believe an education must go beyond books, bricks and mortar, we're creating the best schools in the world, so our students graduate world-wise.
Welcome to the Winter Equestrian Festival. Every year, Wellington Regional Medical Center proudly celebrates the return of the equestrian season to our community. We're honored to once again be the official emergency medical center of the 2025-2026 Winter Equestrian Festival. For more than 40 years, Wellington Regional Medical Center has delivered exceptional care to Palm Beach County residents. Guided by our high reliability journey, we put safety first in everything we do. Excellence isn't just our goal, it's how we treat our patients and each other every day. Through advanced technology, expanded services, and compassionate care, we remain committed to providing care you can count on. We're looking forward to another great season.
It's a lot to take care of something as cool as a horse. So 3-day eventing is like a triathlon for horses. I'm counting the rhythm of the horse. If I move my seat in a certain way, they know the signals. We do ask a lot of them physically. I love to stand my horses in ice water. It makes all the blood move while taking inflammation out.
It's about 2 minutes out from the top of the order with the Coastal Steel Structures two-star Grand Prix. Every ride tells a story, and every space should too. That's why Coastal Steel Structures builds covered riding arenas with the same precision and care you bring to your equestrian life. Let's start our conversation today, and together we'll create a space as unique as your vision. Purse just north of $62,000 for today's two-star Grand Prix, sponsored by Coastal Steel Structures. We'll see 45 for the first round of competition, and starting at that Coastal Steel Structures vertical beside the gazebo closer to the end gate, and coming up the ring to fence number 2, the Bainbridge Oxer beside the other gazebo. From there, it's a right-hand turn coming back to that Modon Oxer at number 3 to the white vertical in the center of the arena with the water tray at 4, bending left down that line to the GGT footing Oxer at 5. From there, it's a left-handed turn around the Net Jets fence, and coming back to that white vertical at 6 with the red rails. Right-hand bend in the line up the ring to the Lugano Oxer at 7 with the Liverpool underneath it. Teal double at 8, Oxer to a vertical. And then a right-hand turn around the palm tree to the Hermes Oxer at 9. The Black Swan fence at 10 with that thin plank on top, but triple combination in front of the Table Bank Oxer, or vertical Oxer vertical there at 11, A, B, and C. The green pillars at 12 in front of the gallery, and then finishing over the Net Jets Oxer at number 13. A total of 16 efforts, 13 numbered fences. Time allowed at 72 seconds for today's Coastal Steel Structures two-star Grand Prix. Top of the order with us, first of our 45 riders for today's competition. Taylor Body for the U.S. kicks us off. The ride for Harris Equestrian, based in Moraga, California. The U.S. rider aboard the 9-year-old Anglo-European gelding Billy Vandross by Toulon, our first of 45. Four faults with the knockdown at 11A, 1 on the clock. That reference time 72.86 for Taylor Body with Harris Equestrian's Billy Vandross. Next to go, rider for France, Nicolas Payot, and Le Fair Play du Prix, the 11-year-old gelding Bacanon, owned by Payot Equestrian. For faults, fence at 3, knockdown at the Modon Oxer for Nicolas Payo. And fair play, 72.05, the reference time just exceeding the 72-second time allowed to tack on one more against the clock. Third in the order to join us on course next, we welcome to the ring Ireland to Daniel Cairns. Top placings throughout the U25s up to the 3-star level for the young Irishman who today pilots the 13-year-old gelding Malu Blue PS owned by Gotham Enterprises, our third to show. Home on a score of 20 times 69 at 51. Kate Megan Hoffman next to go. Get aboard Darius Durrell, the rider from Indiana, shown for the Windara Farms in Pendleton, our fourth in the order. First clear round comes from Kate Meganhoffen and the Windara Farms Darius Durrell in a time of 69.32 for the young U.S. rider, posting our first penalty-free effort here for this afternoon's Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Laura Chapeau, our fifth in the order, and the ride with hers and Mary Chapeau's 10-year-old French-bred gelding Genola. It's a 4-fault 69.24, the time for Laura Chapeau with hers and Mary Chapeau's Genola. Kyla McClogie up next, the ride for Twin Island LLC with Jardin. The U.S. rider and the 12-year-old Dutch red gelding by Toulon, a Grand Prix winning combination from Traverse City last summer. Kyla McClogie and Jardin are sixth to show. One clear so far. That's Kate Meganhoffen with the Darius Durrell. Knockdowns at fences 9 and at 10, 68.81 the time. Total of 8 for Kyla McClogie and Jardin. It'll take us to Germany's Tiara Bleicher with Otto de Calvary. German rider partnered with her own entry for today's Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix, a 12-year-old Belgian-bred stallion by Jensen van het Meulenhof. Otto and Germany's Tiara Bleicher. Just exceeding the time allowed, 72:51.01 on the clock for Germany's Tiara Bleicher and Otto de Cavalry. A rider that scored wins here in the International over the last 2 weeks. It is the USA's Trent McGee up next for Bloom and Bloom Equus with the 9-year-old mare Hula Hoop. A score of 12 to time 68-77 for Trent McGee and Hula Hoop. US rider from Houston, Texas, Mary Frances Look, and her own N-grip guards at CSI. Fifteen-year-old Danish bred gelding by Baloo Durouet for the U.S. rider, our 9th to show. One clear so far. Kate Megenhofen with the Darius. Heads up at the gate, guys, so horse coming back. Yeah, glad to see our rider is okay. We've seen 9 so far. Kate Megenhofen, our only clear rider for the Windara Farms, Pendleton, Indiana, with the 13-year-old gelding Darius Dureel. Our 10th rider to get the start for this afternoon's Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Rider representing Spain. This is Juan Manuel Gallego for the Loero horse sales with Oriana Veneto Reutershof. 12-year-old Belgian-bred mare for the Spanish rider, our 10th in the order. Clear round for Juan Manuel Gallego and Oriana. This combination with a second place finish under the lights last month in February, now becoming our second to go clear for the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Clears now from the USA's Kate Meganhofen and Spain's Juan Manuel Gallego as Dana Escales joins us next with her Grand Prix mount to Bono Terlinden, the U.S. rider guiding a 14-year-old Anglo-European gelding by Bamako de Muse, owned by the Buttonwood Show Jumpers, the USA's Dana Escales. 71.81 just sneaks inside the time allowed, but the 4 faults for the USA's Dana Escales and Bono Terlinden. Charlie Jacobs next with Camilla 111, a top 5 combination from the Airman's Meter 50 Classic during our IDA Development Week. Charlie with a ride for the Boston-based CMJ Sport Horse with the Anglo-European mare by Fantomas de Muse. Clear round number 3, 69.09 for Charlie Jacobs and the CMJ Sport Horses. Camilla 111 clears now from Charlie Jacobs, Kate Meganhofen, and Juan Manuel Gallego. Next combination finished 8th in their first ever FEI Grand Prix last month in February. Ailey Russell, Spartanburg, South Carolina, the next to go with the 11-year-old mare, the Silva Venet Shapov by Diamant de Semier. Just the back rail down at that final fence score the fourth. The Net Jets Oxer number 13 for Ely Russell and Da Silva. The time 68.04. It is the fastest of our fours so far going into fifth. 3 clear. TR and Bleicher on a single time fault sits in fourth with Otto. Megan Kopp the next to join us. Showing for the Newcastle farm with the 11-year-old stallion Gerardo Veneboven Huxoff. Eight jumping with the knockdowns at 9 and at 12. 2 on the clock at 73.27. A total of 10 for Megan Kopp and Gerardo. Matthew Boddy up next, and the British rider pilots our second Harris Equestrian entry in the order this afternoon. This is the 9-year-old gelding City of Stars by Clarimo. $16 the total for Matthew Boddy and Harris Equestrian's City of Stars. Three clear through the first 15. Charlie Jacobs, Kate Meganoffen, and Juan Manuel Gallego. It'll be Lucas Mejia Van Hool showing next with his own Con Corazon. Score of 12 is 71-68. The time for Lucas Mejia Van Hool and Con Corazon. Combination that has finished well throughout our two-star Grand Prix this season. The USA's Wilton Porter for the Sleepy Pea Ranch with the 12-year-old Stern Mark at 3. (71-45). That's a clear for Wilton Porter. And Stern Marka, our fourth to go clear around one of the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Rider for Brazil to join us on course next. This is Lucia Maria Rivas. And an entry from the Bonchance farm, 12-year-old gelding Okie Dokie van der Rentuva Bakanan. Score of 10, the knockdowns at 3 and 8B. The time 73:11, 2 on the clock. There for Lucia Maria Rivas and Okie Dokie. Winner in yesterday's two-star speed, Philippa Hammond now with the Girocco Blue, owned by Ammon Equestrian, a 12-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by VDL Girocco Blue. Our 19th to show, 4 clear so far. Four knockdowns, 2-time faults. That's a total of 18 for Philippa Hammond and Girocco Blue. 20th in the order, rider for Canada out of Campbellville, Ontario. This is Lexi Ray and the 13-year-old gelding by Cador 5, her own crazy friend. Yeah, circle 4, number 6, and 9 on the clock. It's a total of 13 for Canadian Lexi Ray and Crazy Friend. 4 clear, another 3 before the midway break. It's Switzerland's Beat Mandley next. Olympic silver medalist, World Cup Finals winner with the ride for the Grant Rope Partners with the 11-year-old mare, Kay Gray. Pair of knockdowns, 11B, and that net jet toxer at 13 for Switzerland's Beat Manley with K. Gray. 8 the score, time 70.65. Lexington-based rider with a ride for America Cryo. This is Ali Leopold Moreno in the French-bred gelding Hidalgo du Châtelier. Ali Leopold Moreno retiring with Hidalgo. Four clear as we welcome on course our final combination before the midway break in round one of the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Ireland's Richie Maloney and Equanimity's 12-year-old mare Skelwit Diamond Lady. Rails down at 11B and 13. The back rail at both of those oxers for Richie Maloney and Skelwit the Diamond Lady. Score of 8 at 70.28 for the Irishman in the Equanimity entry. We've seen 23 so far, round one. The Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. 4 clear at the midway mark. Kate Meganhoffen with Darius Duril. Juan Manuel Gallego with Oriana. Charlie Jacobs with Camilla. And Wilton Porta with the Stern Marca. Our 4 combinations clear so far. We'll take about 10 minutes here for a touch-up drag. We'll be back underway. Another 22 to go for the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. 23 have shown at 22 remaining on the start list for round one of the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. 4 clear coming out of the Midway break. The USA's Kate Meganhoffen with the Wendara Farms, Darius Duril. Spain's Juan Manuel Gallego for Loeto Horse Sales with Oriana. Charlie Jacobs and the CMJ Sport Horses Camilla. And Wilton Porter for the Sleepy P Ranch with Stern Marca. We get back underway with Wilton's brother, Lucas Porter, our first to show after the break. Lucas aboard another entry from the Sleepy P Ranch in the order for today's Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. The ride aboard the 8-year-old Oldenburg mare Kimba, 171 for the USA's Lucas Porter, the first of our 22 remaining riders. Just the knockdown number 3, the Modon Oxer for Lucas Porter. And Kimba, time 71.71. Here's Anna Rizvi, the 25th rider, to join us on course for round 1, showing an entry from the Flying Z LLC, the 12-year-old mare Horizon Venetchik. Scoring knockdowns at 8A and 13. Score of 871.88 the time for Zana Rizvi and Horizon Venetchik. Still holding on the 4 clear as Allison Robitaille joins us with the 11-year-old mare Claire de Lune, 33. Front rail down at the Hermes Oxer. It's 4 at number 9, 69.16. The time for Allison Robitaille and Claire DeLune. One of the top riders in the 25 and under rankings, Caroline Mawhinney, to go next. The U.S. athlete partnered with a 14-year-old mare, Hallelujah. $69.96 clear. Our 5th clear round that comes from the USA's Caroline Mawhinney with her own Hallelujah. Five clears so far. Those clears coming from Kate Meckenhoffen with the Darius, Juan Manuel Gallego with Oriana, Charlie Jacobs aboard Camilla, Wilton Porter with Stern Marca. Those are 4 qualifying before the break. The USA's Caroline Mawhinney, our first since the midway mark with her own Hallelujah, bringing us up to a total of 5. Puerto Rico's Vasco Flores next. 11-year-old De Gelding Pas Normal, his mount owned by Leila Kurbanov, Greenwich, Connecticut. Clear round, 70.29 from Vasco Flores and Pas Normal. 6 now qualify for the jump off in the Coastal Steel Structures at Grand Prix. Gavin Moylan are next to go. The Canadian has the ride for Imperial Equine LLC. It's a 10-year-old Westphalian mount as his partner for today's Grand Prix. This is Butterfly and Canada's Gavin Moylan. Just the plank down at number 10 for Gavin Moylan, and a Butterfly 70.58 the time, home on 4 for the Canadian riding for Imperial Equine. Karime Perez next, and the Mexican rider shows her own entry this afternoon, the 11-year-old mare Felicie du Coquerie by Melito de Rev. 30th to show, 6 clear so far. Clear round 67-74 for Karime Perez and Felicie du Coquerie. 7 and now qualified for the jump-off round and the Coastal Steel Structures at Grand Prix. Another rider for Canada this afternoon, Sophia Popescu, are next to go. The rider for the Vegas-based Popescu advisory with the 10-year-old mare by Staccato Gold. This is Sophia Popescu, Charret de Real Fozzi. Just a knockdown, number 12, 67-17 at the time for Sofia Popescu with Sade de Real Fauzi. That will go into 9th as our fastest four-faulter to this stage in the competition. Caitlin Connors goes next, and the rider from Glen Mills at Pennsylvania shows for Juan Pablo Betancourt this afternoon, the 11-year-old gelding Quinto de Obernai and Caitlin Connors. Two on the clock, 73-68 for Caitlin Connors with Juan Pablo Betancourt, Quinto de Obernai. That'll go into 9th for the U.S. rider from Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. JJ Toronto are next to go. Quincy Quality, owned by the Jet Show Stable for JJ, 10-year-old mare by Cornado Belinsky. Just the four faults for JJ Toronto coming off that second place finish in the U25 semifinal Grand Prix. 71-29 with the 4 for the U.S. rider in the Jet Show Stable entry. 7 clear, another 12 on our start list. It'll be Margie Ingle to go next. The ride for Glade Winds Farm, and Virginia T. Bartholomew for the Show Jumping Hall of Famer with the 14-year-old Danish-bred gelding Jack of Hearts. Just within 400ths of a second to spare. That's a clear round for Margie Engel and Jack of Hearts. We now have 8 qualified for the jump-off round and the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Elise Crooks are next to go with the 9-year-old mare Karamia. Elise riding for the High Hopes Farm, Charlotte, North Carolina, are 35th to get the start for the first round. The pling down at number 10, 1 on the clock with a time of 72.49 for Elise Crooks and Karamia. From Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Alexandra Worthington next and Delois. Yeah, the French-bred gelding, a 13-year-old by Capital Dargon, owned by Turn a Blind Eye, Equestrian. Our first of 10 remaining. Zero jumping 2 against the clock at 73.41 for Alexandra Worthington and Delois. Giovanna Rinaldi are next to go with a Deliam PS. Yes, right at the first of our 9 left on the start list, partnered with the 10-year-old mare by Action Bleu. Yeah, the slow roller at 8B knocked out at 12-8. The score 69-39. The time for Giovanna Rinaldi and Adelian Pias. Lucy Delorier next to go. It's a 10-year-old mare Vigo for the Pan Am medalist at Luja's Starlet. And Lucy Delorier, first of 8. $71.92. That's a clear. Lucy Delorier and Starlet. Now giving us a 9 on the jump-off list for the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Allie Wolf riding for the New Albany-based Esperita Group with the 9-year-old mare Esperita de Bruil, but comme il faut plus. First of 7 remaining, 9 clear so far. Home on 4, 68-49. Just the 4 there, laid over the track for Allie Wolf and Esperita. Emily Dayhoff are next to go, first of 6. The ride for the Sporty Game LLC with the 14-year-old mare Manu Demus. Knockdowns at 8A and B. 8 the score, 68-53 the time for Emily Dehoff and Manu Demuse. Chris Uwanowski next with polo jumps, New Jersey, Venador Duvel, the Wellington-based rider, and the 13-year-old mare by Spartacus Tien, the first of 5 remaining. Score 16 for Chris Uwanowski and in New Jersey, Venador Duvel. 4 remaining, 9 clear so far. It'll be the USA's Georgina Bloomberg to join us next with the Australian warm-blooded stallion Tulana Coal Mine, owned by the Gotham Enterprises of New York City. Georgina Bloomberg retiring with Tulana. Three remaining, Venezuela's Luis Fernando Lorazabal, number 59 ranked rider in the world, and an entry owned by Marie Bourdin and Antoine Deschamps. This is Feeling Chance, 11-year-old mare by Cornado Belinsky. Clear round, Luis Fernando Rosabal and Feeling Chance at 68.30. Our 10th now clear with 2 remaining for round 1. Isabel Lehman up next, the Youth Championship medalist with the 13-year-old mare Dara du Soleil. Sired by Kanan, the ride for Double E LLC, Milton, Georgia, with the first of our 2 remaining entries. Score of 8, 71.36, the time for Isabel Lehman and Dara du Soleil. Final combination for round 1 of the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. Israel Sydney Schulman Desiderio for Jill Schulman of Greenwich, Connecticut, with the 9-year-old gelding Max van der Marijen Hoover. Clear round, Sydney Schulman Desiderio with the Jill Schulman's Max van der Marijen Hoover, 70.88 and 11 to return for the jump off in the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. It'll be Kate Megan-Hoffman back first with the Darius, followed by Juan Manuel Gallego and Oriana, Charlie Jacobs, and Camilla. 111 going third on a callback list. Wilton Porter batting cleanup with Sternmark. Caroline Mawini fifth in the callback order with Hialeah. That'll be followed up by Puerto Rico's Vasco Flores with Pa Normal. Mexico's Karime Perez with Felicia de Coqueri. Margie Engel and Jack of Hearts. Lucy Delorier with Starlet, our 10th. And the jump off will be Luis Fernando Larrazabal with Feeling Chances. Sydney Schulman Desiderio will be our 11th and final with Jill Schulman's Max van der Marijen Hoover. Just a few more passes from the tractors before we get back underway with the jump-off round for the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. 11 clear in the first round. We'll have 10 of those 11 back for the jump-off. That jump-off track is starting at the NetJets Oxer at number 13. From there, it's a left-hand turn to the Coastal Steel Structures vertical at number 1. Bainbridge Oxer comes up next at number 2, and then a right-hand turn coming back to the Modon Oxer at number 3. Continuing on the right lead around the gazebo to the teal vertical. It was an Oxer as 8A, and the first round now a vertical, numbered 14 for the jump-off. Turning left from there to what's left of the triple combination, vertical to an Oxer at 11AB, and then the long run home to finish in front of the gallery at the pillars at number 12. 10 to come back. It'll be Kate Meganhoffen returning first, followed up by Juan Manuel Gallego. Then we'll see Charlie Jacobs with Camilla. Wilton Porter aboard Sternmark. Caroline Mowini going fourth on the jump-off list with Halilea Vasco Flores with Pa Normal. Mexico's Karime Perez with Felicita Coqueri. Lucy Delorier with Starlet. Luis Fernando Larrazabal with Feeling Chance. And Sydney Schulman Desiderio will be our final rider over the jump-off track with Jill Schulman's Max Vanda Marian Hoover. First of our 10 to return for the jump-off round, Kate Meganhoffen, the U.S. rider with the 13-year-old gelding Darius Durrell, owned by the Windara Farms, Pendleton, Indiana. .33.66 the time, 8th the score with the knockdowns at 11B and at 12 for the USA's Kate Meganhoffen and Darius Durrell. Spain's Juan Manuel Gallego are second to go. The ride for the Loero horse sales here in Wellington with Oriana Veneto Reuters off. .33.71 clear in the jump off as Spain's Juan Manuel Gallego sets the pace with the Loero horse sales Oriana Veneto Reuters off. Third to jump off for the U.S. This is Charlie Jacobs with Camilla 111, owned by CMJ Sport Horse LLC. 33.99 with the 4 at 11B over the jump off track for Charlie Jacobs and Camilla. Combination that's seen Grand Prix success here this season is Wilton Porter next for the Sleepy P Ranch with Stern Marca 3. Our 4th of 10 for the jump off. Time to beat 33.71, Sepa Juan, Manuela Gallego, and Oriana. Clear it is, and into the lead about 0.08 of a second at 33.63 for the USA's Wilton Porter and the Sleepy P Ranch's Stern Marca 3. Juan Manuel Gallego into second, now also double clear, but at 33.71. Charlie Jacobs on the 4 faults in third with Camilla. 5th of our 10 back for the jump off the USA's Caroline Mowini with her own Hallelujah. New time to beat at 33.63. And Elite changing hands again. Caroline Mowini moves to the top of the standings with her own Hallelujah 33.40. Now the time to beat coming in from the young U.S. rider, one of the top 100 in the 25 and under standings. Wilton Porter now in second. Juan Manuel Gallego now in third. 5 left in the jump-off round, and it will be Puerto Rico represented next. Vasco Flores joins us for the owner, Leila Kurbanov of Greenwich, Connecticut, with Pa Normal. $33.40, time to beat. Vasco Flores into the lead, 33.29, as they keep getting faster in the jump-off round for the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. The rider for Puerto Rico now leads with Leila Kurbanov's Pa Normal. Caroline Mowini into second. Wilton Porter in third. Mexico's Karime Perez in next with her own Felicito Coqueri. New time to beat at 33:29. Best time is so far, but that final fence down over the jump-off track for Mexico's Karime Perez would have taken the lead by a little over a second at 32:19 with her own Felicito Coqueri, but with the 4 goes into 5th as the quicker of our 2-4 talters into the jump-off. 3 left. Vasco Flores leads. Caroline Mawini in 2nd. Wilton Porter in 3rd. It'll be Lucy Delorier to try her hand next. The ride for Lucia LLC with Starlet. Time to beat 33:29. Puerto Rico's Vasco Flores leads with Pas Normal. Knockdowns at 11 A and B. It's 8 in the jump-off round for Lucy Delorier with the Starlet on the time of 33:93 going into 8th. Luis Fernando Larrazabal for Marie Berdan and Antoine Deschamps with Feeling Chance, our first of 2 left. Time to beat is 33:29, posted by Vasco Flores and Leila Kurbanovs of Pas Normal. $32.99 time there, but the knockdown at 11A for Venezuela's Luis Fernando Larrazabal with Feeling Chance goes into 6th as the second fastest 4-faulter over the jump-off track this afternoon. And that takes us to our final combination for Israel. This is Sydney Schulman Desiderio with Jill Schulman's Max van der Marijen Hoover. 33:29 is the time to beat. And your winner on a time of 32.60, Sydney Schulman Desiderio with Max Van and Ryan Hoover, owned by Jill Schulman, your top combination in today's Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. As Sydney continues her winning ways on quite the run throughout the month of February and now into March, keeping the wins coming. Vasco Flores will finish second with Pa Normal. Caroline Mawini third with Halalea. We'll get the top three dressed and prepare for presentations coming up here in just a moment. Wilton Porter fourth with Stern Marca. Fifth award will go to Spain to Juan Manuel Gallego with the ride for Loeto Horse Sales with Oriana. Mexico's Karime Perez, our fastest time over the jump-off track, but with the four faults, will finish in sixth with her own Felicido Coqueri. Venezuela's Luis Fernando Larrazabal, seventh with Feeling Chance. Eighth award will go to Charlie Jacobs with Camilla 111. Ninth for Kate Megan Hoffman and Darius Duril. Lucy Delorier and Starlet take 10th. Margie Ingle clear in the first round, withdrawing from the jump-off places 11th with the Jack of Hearts, and Germany's Tiara Bleicher on a single-time fault in round one rounds out the ribbons in 12th with Otto de Calvary. Bringing back our top three in the Coastal Steel Structures two-star Grand Prix. Bringing forward our third place combination. Congratulations to the USA's Caroline Mawini on the double clear effort today, placing third with her own Halalea. .33.40, the time for one of the top 25 and under riders in the world to place third. Congratulations to Caroline Mawini with Halalea. Second place rider to come forward next, and it was his lead until that final rider on course for the jump off. Congratulations to Puerto Rico's Vasco Flores, the ride for Leila Kurbanov of Greenwich, Connecticut, with Pa Normal finishing second in the Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix. And your winner in today's competition, representing Israel, Sydney Schulman Desiderio with Max Van den Ryan Hoover, owned by Jill Schulman of Greenwich, Connecticut. Sydney posting win after win on the circuit here throughout the month of February and now into the month of March. The top call with a ride for Jill Schulman from your winning combination from the two-star qualifier on Thursday. The rider for Israel and the 9-year-old Dutch bred gelding by Ermontico. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove cover for the national anthem of Israel in honor of today's Coastal Steel Structures Grand Prix winner, Sydney Schulman Desiderio. Congratulations again to our top three. Third award to Caroline Mowini with Hallelujah. Second for Puerto Rico's Vasco Flores with Pa Normal. And leading the lap of honor with another win here in 2026 at the Winter Equestrian Festival, Sydney Schulman Desiderio with Jill Schulman's Max Van der Marijen Hoover.